Hi, I'm Samuel Osborne,
Hi, I'm Tadros.
and we've just been talking with a very good friend of mine that Bass has just been introduced as well, and about this idea of beating yourself up about not having the time to do the thing that you truly love to do because you have to do this other thing that you feel highly responsible to do.
Mm-hmm.
And how to cope with that, how to look at it in a way so that you can not beat yourself up, Bass. And so just share with the people that are watching some of the things that you're thinking about, because I think you really had some great value to add.
Oh, thank you. So the reason people beat themselves up about not finding the time to do the things that they really want to do is because quite often they have the perception or the thought process that's going on in their mind. I'd like to do this, or I wish I could do more of this, but I find myself being attracted to or pulled towards other things that are coming up in my life. And what quite often happens is because they're not prioritizing or making enough time for the things that they want to do, it falls in the category of procrastination or wishful thinking. And so it becomes something that they put off time and time and time again, to the point where it then becomes a frustration, and the things that they're currently spending time doing end up losing taste, or end up actually becoming something that is quite frustrating because they feel like that's taking me away from what I really want to be doing. Now, you could probably apply this in any area of your life. It could be, starting a business and you're currently working a 9 to 5. It could be you're not making enough time to go to the gym, and instead you find yourself doing other things, and you end up lamenting or hating the things that you're currently doing because they're taking you away from the other stuff.
Or in this case, the friend we were talking to is a mother who is really challenged by the idea of, how do I find just 1 hour to focus on my
Creating a
business while I have to look after my son who's 4, and saying I really need 5 hours just to get into the mode, and how she beats herself up about it, and it's like
And then it takes away from the time that she does spend with her son, because she feels that he's taking her away from creating this business that she really wants to create.
And one of the things that we've been discussing is who is Samuel Osborne and Bass Tadros to give advice to a mother about how she can save time. I mean, it's almost like I don't even feel qualified to do it. So what could we possibly say to people who are in situations, like if you're sitting here watching this going, you have no idea about my situation, how dare you even attempt to give advice? So what could we possibly say to someone like that?
Sure. So let me qualify this. There are certain rules, principles that you can utilize in any area of life that could then, I suppose, give you the resources or the tools to be able to do these things successfully. And the rules are across the board. So they could apply in your family life, they could apply in your health, they could apply in your finances, they can apply in any area of your life, creating a business, running a business, whatever it might be. And these tools, resources, you could call them philosophical, you could call them basically rules of nature, if you like. And these are things that we've spent collectively, combined, individually, probably thousands of hours.
At least a decade.
For yourself, at least a decade. For me,
I'm not kidding. A decade of how do I get really efficient to get the things I want when I still have to do all these other things that I kind of don't really want to, but I got to.
Absolutely.
And being frustrated and going, please, what is the simple, just do that.
Yeah. For me, I think he's being conservative when he says at least a decade, maybe a decade of what he recalls. But I think it's a lot more. Samuel was handed textbooks that some of us have never even heard of since the age of 12. He's been studying
It's more like
astrology. It's been a lifetime for both of us.
It's more like 20 25 years.
Absolutely, at least for me, I think it's all of my life. Since I was born, I was basically put in an environment where I had to learn from what was going on around me and become as efficient and as much as I can a better communicator. You know, by age 9, I'd moved to 3 different continents, 3 different countries, 3 different languages, and had to roll with it and adapt. And you know, I'm just talking about the first formative years of my life. So, you know, you look that up in psychology. These are the years where you're learning and you're growing. And beyond that, in my teens and going beyond, I've spent a lot of time studying the mind and being obsessed, if you like, with how do things actually work here? And how do they work behind the scenes? Because, you know, I'm going to run something very basic by you. When you went and brushed your teeth this morning, did you have to think about it? Or did it happen for you at an unconscious level? That's exactly what happens, right? You've answered that question for yourself. You didn't think about it, it just happened, right? The brain actually stores a lot of the things that we do on a regular basis and does them in autopilot. So I've been fascinated by that and learning a lot about that. And that's the reason why I do hypnotherapy. It's the reason why I'm, you know, talking to the unconscious mind in a lot of cases with clients. It's because they become so intelligent, they become so charged with overanalyzing, overthinking, that they sometimes overthink things to death, and they get in their own way of getting to the solution. So the resources, and to go back to Samuel's question, what qualifies us to talk to a mother or to any individual about areas in life that they can improve, is we've been living practices with this. We do this with our friends, we do it with our families, we do it with our clients. And, you know, Samuel's just been running workshops and all sorts of things at the moment that are helping different clients from different walks of life to improve and to go forward in their life. And so my thoughts are this: we each have a set of values. Either family is high in your values, finances are high in your values, you know, your health, your spirituality, and so on. Each and every one of these are different for every individual that's walked on this planet. Every person has their own unique set of values, and how they fall determines where you spend your time. Nobody has to motivate you, nobody has to inspire you to spend time doing the things you love. You just do them. And so look around you, whether it's your bookshelf with the types of books that you read, which basically places a lot of emphasis on your value being something of the intellect, of your mind, and reading and studying, and being someone that likes to spend their time researching and learning, and perhaps you then have a value on teaching as well and sharing that information. So we each have a set of values that we live by. Some of us don't even know we have these values, but we're living by them anyway. So if you get something like business, for example, to a mother who she has family high on her values, but business is low on her values, it's actually becoming a distraction. Unless she consciously and unconsciously recognizes that this is something that has to be prioritized in her higher set of values, then it will forever be something that falls low on her values and she won't make time for it. So you get a husband and a wife, they're walking through a shopping center. The first thing is the wife's looking at things that relate to what's high on her values. She might be seeing children shops for clothes, for things that they need for their kids. The husband might be thinking about something else entirely in the shopping center. You know, which branch of bank is here? He might want to go to the bank to do some finances, pay some bills, whatever, because finance is high on his values list. I'm not saying that that's the case in every family or every household. Everybody's different, but I'm just giving you a sort of generic, you know, example. So that will give you a bit of an idea what these values drive. It drives where we're looking at, what we're looking for, and what we want to do. She might have a value on going into every shop to check what's in there. He may not. He wants to get into one shop, get what he needs to get, and leave. And so these are values.
Someone calling to
an important call coming through
to confirm what we're saying.
Excellent, but you're more important, so we're staying with you. So they're basically probably wanting to know about their values and how they can prioritize.
Can you just go back into
exactly? So if you're interested in knowing more, you can look us up on Samuel's website, which is
samuelosborne.com.au.
Perfect, or mine, bastadros.com, and we've got a lot of resources, a lot of information, upcoming workshops, and other things that you might be interested in. And if this type of area interests you, and you're like, oh wow, stay tuned. And you know, there's going to be more videos to come that will talk about other different areas that you might like.
See you around. See you around, guys. Bye.
See ya.